everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're checking out another Thunderbolt dock today. This one comes from CalDigit. This is their Thunderbolt Station 2, and this is a Thunderbolt 2 dock, and it works like every other dock we've looked at, which is you plug in a Thunderbolt cable into the back here, and your Mac or supported Windows device will get all of these ports available to it, which is pretty handy. So like most of the docks we've looked at, you get the bifurcated audio, so you have microphone input here as well as a distinct headphone jack. These show up as like a USB audio device, so it's a separate audio device from what your Mac has. So you could use both audio inputs on the Mac and here if your device supports it. You could even plug in more microphones if you wanted to with its USB ports as well. So you've got a USB 3 port here on the front, and that one also allows you to charge your devices. And then on the back, you've got a lot of ports actually, a couple that I haven't seen before, at least in the pairing that they're in on this one, and that is two Esata ports here on the back. They don't perform like you think they're going to perform, so I'll talk about that in a minute. You also get another two USB 3 ports here, gigabit Ethernet, HDMI. This will drive a 4K display over that HDMI port, provided your host machine supports that display resolution. So the Thunderbolt 2 bandwidth does give you some of that available. And once you have everything plugged in, you still have an available Thunderbolt port as well. So this is great. Even if you're on an older Mac that doesn't support 4K, you can run a 1080p display out of here and then run a higher resolution display out of that available port, or of course plug in a drive or something else. Now, one of the things that's been really bugging me about all of the Thunderbolt docks that I've looked at over the last year and a half is that they never get close to matching the potential of what Thunderbolt could potentially offer for file transfer speeds, especially when you're connecting devices via USB 3 or in this case via eSATA. So now you would think with two eSATA ports on here, pretty much the same connection technology that your motherboard connects to your hard drives with, you should see some really good speeds, 6 gigabits per second at a minimum perhaps. And if you've got an SSD, of course you'll never hit the 6, but you should get close to it. And what I like to do as a test is to take two drives, bond them together with what's called RAID 0, which essentially doubles the speed. So if I take two SSDs that have a speed of about anywhere from 3 to 5 gigabits per second, put them together, I should see at least 6 or so. Not getting it here, unfortunately. This is about the max that I'm getting. We're pretty much hitting the limit around 3 gigabits per second, or about 340, 350 megabytes per second of transfer speed. Certainly fast. It's not slow by any stretch of the imagination, but those drives can definitely go faster. Even when I plug it in via USB 3 on my Mac, you can see here I'm getting about 400 megabytes with just one drive plugged in, not two via eSATA. We should be seeing faster speeds. And the reality is that the controllers that they're putting onto these devices just don't go as fast as the Thunderbolt will allow. And I'm sure there's a lot of cost constraints and everything involved with putting a device together like this, but it would be really nice to once get one that would actually give us the speeds we would hope to see over eSATA. All right, I'm going to stop complaining now. Let's get this thing hooked up and see how fast everything comes up. I'm just going to plug in the Thunderbolt cable. One end is already connected to my Mac. You plug the other end in here, and once it is connected, all of these ports will come alive. So I've got HDMI connected right here. We've got gigabit Ethernet, and of course the cable going back to our Mac, and then we've got a lot of available ports now still as well. So we could plug in again additional USB and the eSATA, and we have a Thunderbolt port available as well. I'm going to do a quick little bandwidth test now to see how fast we can communicate with a computer upstairs that is also connected via gigabit Ethernet. And as you can see, we're getting, first connection usually a little bit slower, but we're getting about 910 megabits per second, 913 there. So the gigabit Ethernet does really perform well, performs as you would see most gigabit Ethernet devices perform on your networks. This is really good as a way of getting a very quick single cable solution to getting a keyboard, monitor, network, everything up and running, especially if you've got something like a MacBook Air that doesn't have those ports. This is a very quick and easy way to come in the morning to the office, plug in, and you're off and running. I really like the compact nature of it. It is a very nicely designed product, really solid feeling. And again, it can be mounted either this way or that way because you've got little rubber feet to kind of support both orientations. I like just the layout of it overall, and I really like the fact that it isn't bigger than it should be. Like a lot of these docks tend to be a little bit too long, and this one I think will fit a lot nicer on a desk. So that is the CalDigit Thunderbolt Station 2, and this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.